What's up, party people, and welcome back to Couch Muscles Incorporated. Today, we will be reviewing the sequel to the highest-grossing horror movie of all time. It Chapter 2.
More like It Chapter Poo, because I hated it.
Did you really?
No. Okay, so here are my thoughts.
Is this a spoiler review, my friend?
This is absolutely a spoiler review. If you have not seen this movie, good for you. Enjoy your time doing something else. I'm kidding. This movie's probably worth watching. I enjoyed it a fair bit.
It's totally worth watching.
It's good. It definitely falls short of the first chapter. The first It is a much better movie. And this movie, I think, is really stupid a lot of the time. Sometimes it has moments that are enjoyable. It's got genuinely funny moments. Richie Tozier is hilarious in this movie, played by Bill Hader, which is perfect casting. The guy who is playing Eddie Kaspbrak, is that he? That is probably the best casting in my opinion.
Really? All the adult actors look just like their kids' counterpart.
It's amazing how good of a job they did casting this.
Even Ben.
Yeah, Ben. Like, he doesn't look at all like Ben, but he looks exactly like Ben.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's awesome.
I totally believe that could be an older Ben.
So there's something that I had with this movie that I kind of didn't like.
Yeah.
And that was that it kept on flashing back to the kids at various points in time. I felt like that kind of took me out of it.
Yeah.
Because It Chapter 1, I feel like we got that story and those actors and those rules are phenomenal. But now I wanted to focus on the adult story. And it's not so much cameos from the kids. It's very much interwoven within the story. And I feel like as far as an It adaptation can go, as someone that's read the book, this is as good as you can get. It really is. Because I was telling you, you can kind of make the first It movie without all of the crazy stuff that's happening. But when you make the second It movie and like the ritual of Chud and all this stuff, they cut out like its nemesis, which is another cosmic entity, Maturin, who is a giant turtle, who literally is like God, pretty much. He's one of the pillars of the universe. He threw up and created our reality. Anyway, so they left that out, and that's just one step over what we got. We still got some crazy stuff.
I hate this story so much.
Yeah.
I genuinely do. And that isn't saying I hate the movie. I do not hate the movie. It's just I feel so strongly that the first It movie works so much better because of the content of it. And that this movie absolutely suffers because it's just like the premise gets a little ridiculous when you make the clown fight a bunch of like 40-year-olds.
Yeah, but the first movie didn't have to do all of this. Yeah, the second part of It is a more difficult story to tell.
I just look at this story and I look at Stephen King and I just don't understand at all what he was thinking. Because it's like what you just said to me, that there was a cosmic space turtle that vomited up our universe and that's like the plot of the clown movie. I just don't understand why they have to put stuff like that in there. You know what I mean? Or why Stephen King has
Because people think of It like a confined little story, like a little story that people told. But Stephen, the real book is literally like Star Wars.
I know. It's crazy, but I just like...
It's massive, it's expansive.
I think it's like the weirdest story ever told. And my problem is less of like that it's an ambitious story, because it absolutely is a super ambitious story. It's like aiming to like tell you the most weird, complex story you could think of when it comes to a clown and a bunch of kids in a small town in Mississippi, which it's not.
It's in Maine.
I know it's not in Mississippi. That was a joke.
It's in Maine. All of Stephen King's stories are set in Maine.
Yeah, except for Missouri. Do you get the joke?
No.
He has a book called Misery.
It's for the best.
Hey, please!
Oh, got it. That sucked.
Oh, well, you're just not very smart in the cognitive sense. Anyway, what was I saying?
You were saying that you didn't like the movie.
I don't like the story, and here's my biggest problem with the story. I absolutely hate, and this is a spoiler, I absolutely hate that, like, this giant space spider entity that was created by a turtle...
No, the turtle did not create Pennywise.
I'm going on a thing, please. Shh. So.
But when you say wrong stuff, I'm going to correct you.
I do not like that the story of this movie is that 5 40-year-old men in a 40-year-old woman, a woman, defeat the space monster clown made of pure evil and pure power by belittling it. They just yell at him and they say, "You're just a stupid clown. You're just a weak old woman. You're nothing. You're so dumb." And then like it is like, wow. I hate it. I hate that. It's so stupid to me. I don't know why. Like I feel so cynical when I say that, but I really think it's stupid.
Because it's like Pennywise draws his power from fear, though, and it's like when they belittle him and they're no longer afraid of him. The it ending isn't good in the book either.
Okay, but like you remember the thing in this movie about how Professor Xavier couldn't write a good ending?
Bill?
Yeah, it's like that's how I felt watching the movie. And also, as you watch this movie, it just constantly gets worse. The first act is definitely the best act of the movie because you're kind of excited still, and you're like waiting for
the setup's really
stuff.
cool.
Yeah, the setup's cool, and like watching all of the Losers Club as they're adults, kind of panicking when they all realize what they're gonna do.
The opening is cool.
The opening is really cool, and then it's like you get to the second act, and they're like trying to find these tokens, and it's just like a bunch of weird CGI scenes with honestly terrible looking CGI.
The CGI is my least favorite part of the whole movie. I think if it were practical, this movie I would have enjoyed it so much more.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the final design of the true form of Pennywise, which I get it. The true form of Pennywise is not even Pennywise. The true form of it is the Deadlights. There is a creature that lives like beyond our universe though, and it kind of manifests itself in the book as close to like what the human mind can perceive. But its truest form,
a giant spider.
Which it's similar to a giant spider.
It's very similar to a spider, and if you watch the 1990 movie,
they adapted it appropriately.
It's not exactly like a spider. It's like a weird big crab spider monster, but it's like that. It serves a purpose. Which is like, this is the closest you're going to get to knowing what the true creature looks like, what you'll be able to perceive it looking like. And then in this movie, it's like
a spider with a clown head.
Yeah,
I didn't like
Pennywise,
that.
But he grows like 8 legs, and the legs have like claws at the end, but it's like a giant Pennywise.
Because they wanted Bill Skarsgård to keep acting.
Yeah. Which, I mean, like, it's kind of fun, maybe, but like it goes so far and gets so ridiculous to the point where I completely just checked out as the movie was going on. And I mean, it's got good moments towards the end for sure. And like we said, it's a spoiler review. But I thought that the Eddie death was pretty impactful. I rewatched a lot of the stuff from the 1990 movie, and it's just way better across the board because that 1990 movie is kind of terrible.
It's awful.
Yeah, but it's like, it does have moments in this movie that are impactful. And it also has moments in it that make you roll your eyes. Like the whole Ben not being like over the whole Beverly thing from...
You don't like that?
I like it in some points. I like it when he has the note in his wallet, or the one signature in his yearbook he keeps in his wallet for 27 years, and he has a line about that. And it's genuinely cute, but at like a certain point it's just like, I get it, he has a crush on her, but this dude is so handsome, there's no way this guy hasn't. He's like a billionaire too. And he wants to like get with this chain smoker from when he was 10 years old. It's like, move on, Ben, I just don't understand it. And then the kiss at the end is a little...
I liked it.
It's not my least favorite part of the movie. It definitely is not.
What did you think about the reveal that Richie was gay?
I was fine with it.
I like that a lot.
Satisfying ending.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
That's not in the books.
Yeah. And I mean, like, it totally works. It doesn't even feel forced. And there's a great little moment at the very end where, like, you see a moment from Richie's childhood where he's carving onto a wooden, like, fence.
He's on a bridge. The bridge from the beginning of the movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't realize that because I don't pay attention. But like, he was just writing R+, and then you don't see the next initial, and then at the end when he's an adult after Eddie dies, he goes and he recarves it, and you can see the original carving, but he just makes it better, and it's R+E. So he's had a crush on Eddie from his childhood, and he doesn't let go of it, and he has to watch him die at the end, and it's super impactful. It's genuinely good. Because there are genuinely good things in this movie. It's hilarious. It really is. It's hilarious. It's heartfelt. But it's sloppy. It's way too long. And it's not as good as the first one. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree completely.
Yeah.
The CGI killed it for me. The ending went on too long.
Way too long.
But I like the first part, and I would definitely say go see it. I don't think that the first It movie is some masterpiece either.
Yeah, neither do I.
It's very accessible for new horror fans, which is why it was so successful. And then it's like, it's fun. It almost felt like a Marvel movie. But it's not the horror movie for horror movie fans.
Yeah.
It's the horror movie for your grandma that sees one horror movie a year, and she's a horror fan.
Yeah.
But it's whatever.
It's fine. If you enjoyed the first one and you really feel like you need to see the ending of it, you'll definitely...
And everybody does. This movie's going to kill at the box office, just like the first one did. The performances are great. The story falls apart. But I would say go see it.
Yeah. It's definitely still a cut above a lot of the more recent, like, Conjuring movies and stuff like that. There's definitely worse horror movies out there. Is it as good as the movie Ready or Not that we just saw?
No.
Absolutely not.
I loved Ready or Not.
If you want to see a good horror movie, if like that's what you're in for, like if you want a quality, fun little
thriller movie,
horror movie kind of thing, it's not scary, but it's in that genre for sure. I would say, go see Ready or Not. If you want to see the movie everybody else is seeing, go see it. Chapter 2.
I concur, Doctor.
That's about all I have to say.
I liked it more than you did.
I think so. Yeah, I think you liked it more.
But it's also because I'm a bigger fan of it than you are.
Yeah. I just think the story is ridiculous, you know. It's not terrible. I enjoy the fact that it exists and I'm happy that I've seen it. But like there are just things that I just have a hard time getting behind, you know.
They should have pulled back at a few points.
Yeah. And maybe don't defeat the monster just by bullying him.
That's the point, though. It's like...
It works really well when it's children that do it. When the children conquer their fear and say, we're not afraid of you, Pennywise, and you can't hurt us. Like, that's fine, because that feels like an appropriate little story. It feels way more...
You're more afraid of the big, scary clown when it's a kid running from it and not a 40-year-old.
Yeah. When the 40-year-olds are yelling at the clown and saying, you suck, Pennywise, get out of here. And then Pennywise shrivels up into a little baby Pennywise, and he's like... How could you unify against me with your fearlessness? I just can't get behind it. It's too cheap to me, you know? And I'm not saying that it would work better with some stupid ritual where they just like chanted a bunch of stuff and then sucked them into a box. This movie wasn't going to end good no matter what.
Was there any part of the movie that scared you genuinely at all?
I don't believe so. And that was the thing, you and I both agreed when we walked out of that theater that neither of us were scared.
Yeah.
We didn't have that feeling of like, wow, we just like witnessed something that was shocking, like my heart wasn't beating faster or anything. We went to see Hereditary, we didn't even talk to each other. It was just like, we were just laughing. It
was a good time. I had a good time.
I did too. It's definitely a C, I would say.
B minus for me.
B minus? I would say it's a C. But that's okay. You and I are both entitled to our opinions, and we shall go about our opinions accordingly. But
go see it.
Yes.
He says do what you want. I say go see it.
I say go see it, and also go see Ready or Not. It's a better movie.
Ready or Not's a better movie, but it's like it juggles less.
It does.
You almost can't grade them on the same curve.
I mean, sure. But it's like saying you can't grade There Will Be Blood and Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones. Like, Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones definitely juggles more than There Will Be Blood. But There Will Be Blood is obviously a much better
That
movie.
connection is so... That was so out there, Anthony.
I'm just saying...
At least I'm picking in the same genre over here.
Okay.
All right.
What? You keep picking your genre.
I'm going to pick my genre so hard.
Okay. You enjoy yourself. I hope you have a picking fiesta. Anyway, this video's gone on too long. Goodbye, everybody.